this video series, we will demonstrate the ease in which you can construct a lady's blouse using various drafting tools. First, we make a block 9.75 inches wide and 28 inches high for the back pattern. Now, using the point tool, we add the side neck point at 3.5 inches and the shoulder point at 7.5 inches from the center back neck point. We move the shoulder point down an inch, move the center back neck point down by 3/4 of an inch, and the armhole point down by 9.5 inches. Next, using the polyline tool, we add the waistline 14 inches down from the center back neck. We then move the waist point in 1/2 inch and the bottom point out 1/2 inch using the keyboard arrow keys. Now we're going to use a horizontal guideline to help us blend the neckline. We drag a horizontal guideline to the center back neck. Then we select the neckline, type BB, and click on the line to start Bezier blending. We can shape the curve by moving the Bezier handles. In order to shape the armhole, we're going to add more guidelines. We use the HH quick step to add another horizontal guideline to the armhole point. We select the two horizontal guidelines and add another guideline in between using the D quick step. We also add a vertical guideline and move it in by 3/8 of an inch. Now we shape the armhole using these guidelines. Next, we copy this back pattern so we can use it for the front pattern. We copy and paste using Ctrl+C and Ctrl+V, then we flip the pattern over using the Ctrl and left arrow keys. We save this pattern as an original using Ctrl+A and turn off the fill option with the F11 key. Then we move the center front neck point down by 2 inches. Notice how the original pattern is shown in gray. Now we blend the front and back necklines together. With the curve blending tool, we select the necklines, type BB1, and click on an endpoint. BB1 gives us an additional control point, which allows us to blend the curves with more shape control. We're going to use a grid to create a dart. First, we raise the armhole point up by an inch, then add 2 points on the side 1 inch apart from each other for the dart opening. Next, we set the HPS, or high point shoulder, as our relative grid origin to help us locate the bust point. Using the point tool, we simply drag from the section between the 2 points all the way to the bust point to create the dart. We then turn off the grid with Ctrl+G. Now we add 2 dart lines using the polyline tool. Here we use the H quick step to place the endpoint exactly halfway between these points. We turn off the view of the original pattern with the F12 key. Next, we blend the side using BB1 with the default tool. Now let's transfer this dart. With the dart transfer tool, we select the 2 dart lines and the dart outline and drag from one side of the dart to the other. The dragging direction determines how the pattern rotates. We transfer the whole dart and it is evenly distributed to the 2 darts. Next, we copy the blended side section, paste it to the front side, and flip it over with the Ctrl and left arrow keys. Then, we use the Extend and Trim tool to extend these internal lines to the side line. Now we're going to make the back yoke. With the polyline tool, we add the yoke line 3.5 inches down from the center back neck. Then with the point tool, we add a point 3.75 inches from the center back. Using the end quick step, we add a notch to the point, then we cut out the yoke pattern with the cut tool. Using the arrow keys, we move this point up and this point down by 1/8 of an inch. Then we blend this section to create a curve. Next, we copy the blended section and paste it to the other side, flipping it over with the Ctrl and down arrow keys. Now let's add princess lines to the front and back patterns. First, with the point tool, we add points on the waistline and place a vertical guideline in the middle to help us draw and shape the princess lines. With the polyline tool, we use the H quick step to start the princess line from the halfway point. Then we have the line go through this point, and we finish it by using the guideline. Then we blend the section and shape the curve. We add another line here and blend this section. We now repeat the process for the front pattern. For the front, we start the princess line 5 inches from the armhole point. Then we blend and shape the curve. We continue by adding another line here and blending this section. Next, let's cut out the side panels. With the cut tool, we select the sections of one side and cut. Then we repeat for the other side. We do the same for the front pattern. Since the princess lines intersected at the bottom, the corners of the front side panel and back patterns were cut out. In order to restore the corner shape for these patterns, we simply select the pattern and drag a point from the side. Here we delete unnecessary points and lines using the Control and right mouse button quick step. Now we're going to make the front yoke. Here we type BB before we finish the line so that we can immediately start blending. We then cut out the front yoke with the cut tool. Before we transfer the center front dart, let's join the internal line to the side line using the J quick step. Then with the dart transfer tool, we select the dart and destination dart line and transfer the whole dart. Now we select the section with the dart and blend. This concludes part 1 of this video series. Please look for the continuation in part 2.